Cool, cool, cool. Hello, everybody. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm between two different articles I want to transcribe. So I'm going to try and set up a poll. Also, Aqua's here. So maybe... Okay. In theory, my bot has the ability to do polls. Yes, Aqua. Are you going to chirp the whole time into my ear while I am streaming? Polls. So, but I haven't done one before. So let's see, what are my options? This is very exciting. Yup, this is the burb. There is the burb. She doesn't want to be there. No. Oh, what am I doing? You're not going to let me just like copy stuff? This is... Gah. Teachers. There we are. Okay. Like I said, I'm figuring out how to burb. Or not to burb, how to poll. How long? Okay, we're going to create that. Cool. So there's a poll. So the poll is now open. The articles, actually, let's see if I can throw this up there to give you an idea. Okay. Cool. Yes, so this is what I'm between. There is one about the budget deal for state teachers. And there's one about corruption in City Hall. And I don't know which one I want to transcribe. And can we like zoom this out maybe a little bit? So yeah, it's the state teachers one or the mayor one. And I've never run a poll before, so I don't know how that works. So yeah, vote for a poll. And in the meantime, I'm going to get my stuff out. And Aqua's going to be here. Because I have like stuff everywhere. Yes. I was going to say, the teachers kind of intrigued me more. Okay, the poll thing is working. It's also... Aqua, are you going to shoosh? No, she's not going to shoosh. Okay, cool. This is fun. This is also like, yes, we get to try a poll now. Now, in the background, I'm looking through... Actually, let's undo this. And if anyone new comes in and has questions about what the poll is, ask me. I'm like, where's my things that I'm copying? Okay. Papier Plume Ivy 108 and Sheaffer Red are our inks today. Yes, Aqua, you're obnoxious. What? Am I not supposed to be talking? Is this bad? She's very cute. I don't know what her problem is. Oh, now you're fine. Now she wants to just like, hang out. What? What is it? Hold on, she's being obnoxious. I'll throw the window back up so anyone can... There we are. Come on. Okay, so she is now in my, she likes the blanket that's on my bed. And she likes to sleep in it because the blanket's very cozy. And apparently she just wanted a nap. That was the issue. Birds are like eternal toddlers. Like, she's eternally has a mental age of around that corresponds to about a 2 or 3 year old. So like a 2 or 3 year old, it's like, I don't need a nap. Yes, you do. Yes, you need a nap. And yeah, that's how that has gone. Anyway. So if anyone else watching wants to vote. I mean, I'm still got to ink things up, so let's see. Where am I looking for things? I have my stuff right here. Paper towel to ink things up. So the first one we're going to do is Ivy 108. So I'm going to put Sheaffer Red to the side. I'm actually excited to finally be doing Sheaffer Red. Because I knew years ago I was looking for like a good like red for like grading papers. I landed on Sheaffer Red that I never bought a bottle of it. And I've been meaning to for literally years. It's like an $8 bottle. Hey, Raoul. Do you want to vote in the poll? The poll is what article I'm going to do. So there's one on a budget deal for raising state teachers, and one about mayoral corruption. So you can vote by saying teachers or mayor. Right now teachers are winning because Dave is the only one that has voted. But yeah. So yeah, like reviewing Sheaffer Red will probably I have carts of Sheaffer Red. I bought the carts for my lady script certs that don't, well, they take converters, but they take like the slim vintage converters, which those are really expensive because they were discontinued like 30 years ago. And like, who keeps cartridges? Actually, let me show you. So this is the one, I got this from Lisa Anderson at the San Francisco Pen Show. It's hard to tell in this camera. Let me see if I can hold it closer. That's not very good. But you can kind of see how there's lines on it. Those lines are all like, have a gold on it. So it's a corduroy. But yeah, it's got the nice, what is it? The Triumph conical nib. It's very pretty. But yeah, this is a Sheaffer Red cartridge that I basically stuck on there. I bought a pack of carts from, went across the room, bought a pack of carts from, I want to say Pandemonium. Oh no! It responded, okay, so this is the first time I've done a poll, so apparently it responded to just mayor in your sentence. And it only allows one vote per person, so it is now taking your vote as for the mayors. I don't know if I can edit the poll. I can redo the poll, but I know what you mean, since there's only 2 votes. But now we know how the poll works. It's not... You know what I should do? I should redo the poll, but I should edit, so you have to do like... I'm redoing the poll, but now with actual command. Because now I know. Okay. Poll has been redone, but now you have to put an exclamation point in front of it so it won't just like take it out of the chat. But yeah, this is what I bought those Sheaffer carts for, but I still need to get a bottle of ink. Which is like silly. Like that Jacques Arbon Rouge Hematite. There we are. So Jacques Arbon, not Rouge Hematite, I have a bottle of Rouge Hematite. Jacques Arbon Rose Cyclamen are ones that is one that I also need a bottle of. Also Waterman Tender Purple. Like, there's like 3 inks at least where I'm like, I need a bottle of that. And the bottle's super cheap and readily available, yet I have not gotten a bottle of it. I think it's like because it's so cheap and readily available, I think like, oh yeah, I can pick it up at any time and there's like no incentive for me to do so. That's at least my thinking. Though I will say a couple months ago, I was at the local pen shop, which is now closing, RIP Artlight. And I was like, oh, well, I'm here. I might as well get a bottle of Waterman Tender Purple. And they were out. So, like, I tried. And what I could have done, I was at Fountain Pen Hospital in New York. Still is really weird to call it New York instead of the city, but you people wouldn't know what I was talking about otherwise. Well, Dave would, because Dave's in New Jersey, but everyone else wouldn't know. And I considered getting a bottle of Rose Cyclamen while I was there. But then you need to put the exclamation point in front of it for it to work, Dave. I changed the command so it wouldn't just like pull randomly. But no, instead I ended up buying a Sailor and getting a free bottle of ink with it, which that was Sailor Apricot. I ended up selling the Sailor. But it was only after using it for a few months and realizing like little quirks about it, and I wouldn't have been able to tell that in the store. So I'm like, okay, no regrets. Well, kind of regrets, because that was an expensive purchase. So everything's filled, and I can see both of you are going for teachers. So I'm now... Let's see, can I vote for you? Let's see. I think I can vote my own poll. Oh. You dipshit. I can't like type into my own chat. This is very strange. But I think I can do it via here. This is learning my bots. Even though like in theory I knew what my bots did. Okay, the MooBot counted it. Oh, and MooBot DMs me when people vote. That's nice. We're learning about my bot that I've had forever. Basically, I've only used to do like some auto modding and like do the little like welcome to the chat. But yeah. Okay, good to know. How do I stop the poll? Is a question I have. This is watch Sarah figure out how polls work. I think I'm gonna archive poll. So I don't think it's active anymore. Anyway, we're doing the teacher article. Okay. So let me get that article up for me to like actually read it, because I had it zoomed out so you guys could all like see what the two articles were. And now I need all the rest of my stuff. And I keep dropping things. I'm sorry. That's the wrong one. I wonder, like, if I didn't end the poll, I just, like, archived it so you guys don't see what the winner is? I have no idea. I'll have to mess with this later on my own time. I could do a test stream. But, where's the Ivy 108 swatch? It's in here somewhere. It's in with the greens. That's all I know. I don't know where exactly I put it in with the greens. So we got, okay, we've got to the greens. Like, I literally don't remember where in the greens I put it. So we're just going to flip through all of them until I find it. There it is. I've inked this up once before. And like the Heart of Gold that I reviewed like a couple weeks ago, I remember inking this up and it wasn't nearly as dark in the pen as it was in the swab. Like, it was very different. So, but like I said, that was ages ago. Interesting auto like white balance stuff. You can't even see what the name of the thing is because it's over there. That's probably because it's trying to make it super light for the whole hippo thing. Okay. Flip. You can tell I've been doing this a while because there's just like so much stuff. Oh yeah, now you can see it. Okay, but yeah, so we'll see, like, it was like well over a year ago that I had this inked up So we'll see what it looks like. And I need a pencil. I should have sharpened this before starting the stream, but that's fine. Gotta hold the classroom friendly off the desk because my webcam is not on any sort of boom arm, so when I sharpen the pencil with it on the desk, it just shakes the whole thing and it's like brrr. Okay, where's my little thing? There it is. So we got oh, speaking of bots, I also did, why I was later than I said was because I was trying to see if I can set up a sort of titles bot similar to the Pen Addict live stream. And I think I did something. I don't know what it is. If you type like exclamation point title, it will, that should be the command. But I don't know what happens. So yeah, if someone wants to try that, instead of like exclamation point S, I think it only works for people who are mods. But I'm not sure what those permissions were. It was an exclamation point S. In theory, that's what it was. Did it DM you saying something didn't work or something? Oh yeah, I got a thing from, nope, that was from voting. I don't see anything about the title command here. In theory, I activated it. But yes, not. Let me look back. Yeah, it should be. Yeah, it should be exclamation point title followed by title. Nope. Let me try it because I'm a mod of my own thing. But there should be commands that like make it so that like it'll like tell you, oh, it didn't work. That's why I'm confused. Because that should also. No, maybe title has to be capitalized. Nope. The whole command is like, in theory, on, but it's not. That's fun. Now we know that it kind of works, but it doesn't. It was fun to try. This is experimenting with bot stream. I wonder if I just do title. Oh, it won't let me log in. Bot do bad things. Anyway, back to actual ink reviews. So let's see what. Like I said, I'm very curious as to what this Papier Plume ink is going to be like. And hello, everybody. There's quite a lot of people in chat today. Or at least lurking. So I appreciate that. I don't know if like earlier on a Thursday is a better time. I usually try and avoid this time because in theory that's when Brad streams. But Brad clearly isn't a streamer anymore. He just occasionally twitches. Okay. But yeah, like I said, I have inked this up previously and it was disappointing. But it's also forever ago. And this isn't looking disappointing. This is looking exactly like what it should look like. I don't know. Okay. Woohoo! All the state teachers are getting a $3,000 a year raise. Which doesn't sound like much, but that's a couple hundred a month. And Georgia has a pretty critical teacher shortage, so that makes sense. This is basically looks like an article about the budget. Yeah, Becky, you also have had job struggles recently. Have you found a new one yet? Or because I know you had a lead. If not, I know it's that's a really fast turnaround, but I commiserate with you. Because I've come to the conclusion, well, as much as I love my tutoring job, there's literally not enough hours in the day for me to work what I need to work to not be struggling constantly. So it does feel a little bit dry, which makes sense for Papier Plume inks. And it does look not very saturated on the page, but in a pretty way. Ah, gotcha. I was gonna say, I remember you had a lead, but how fast those pan out does vary. It's actually, this is kind of weird. As it's going down and drying, it's getting a more pale, dusty look. Okay, I'm glad. Because I know I've been, like I said, I've come to the conclusion, I've always been low-key looking for another job, but I've just hit the breaking point where I'm just I can't keep doing this. I need another job that has more regular work hours in both the sense of time of day and next week is spring break for a lot of schools. So therefore my working hours have been cut because people are why do we need a tutor over spring break? Which makes sense. But I don't want to be subject to that. I would also like to have a job where I at least have paid time off, because that would have, because January for me was real rough because of the hospital thing, but I didn't have paid time off, so I was also very poor. Because I basically didn't work for 3 weeks. So I'm wondering because it says that there's also going to be a 2% pay raise for like university employees. I wonder if that includes graduate students. Because when I was a graduate student at GSU, technically I was a state employee because I was getting paid by the university, but it was a stipend. And so I was like in a weird spot because I was technically a student with a stipend, but also but also a state employee. And I felt into this like weird middle ground thing in terms of like health insurance and benefits and all that stuff. So I wonder if this 2% pay raise will affect like students on stipends. Yeah, this is drying. As it goes down, it looks like a darker green than it is as it's drying. It's a lot dustier when dry, which I'm not sure I'm a fan of. I don't understand fiscal years. It's so weird. Because it's not tied to like academic year or anything. Or any other calendar. Though I guess in Georgia that it is like basically right. The fiscal year starts. This kind of does like in the middle of the summer for the academic year. Because the academic down here is really weird. The kids start school literally like August 1st. Like a full month before I started school growing up in New Jersey. Hello there. Grand game. That's nice to see you. New person. Sorry, I was focusing on writing, not looking at the chat at all. So yeah, hi, nice to see you. Not sure. It's like okay in a wet pen, but just the shade of green isn't doing it for me. At least on this paper. We'll see what it looks like. I did. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the screen. I continue to be hostile. Not everyone looks at the screen constantly. I was talking while looking down. But yeah, so we'll see what it looks. Why am I going on this pad? I want to. So let's see what it looks like on cream or like not cream paper, because the cream paper can do weird things to what color it looks like. Oh look, my handwriting was really good last time. Sometimes I think my handwriting's great, and then I look back like a couple days later, I'm like, oh wow, that was not a good time. But yeah, sorry, just like how I tend to do these streams, I'm looking down writing and talking, and then I'll look up occasionally at the chat. So there might be a delay between when I respond to your comments, just because I'm not looking at the screen. Because I'm looking down at the paper, that's why the camera's face down. No, you're good. I understand this is not how other people normally do streams. And then there's the additional like delay between when I see the chat come up on the screen because I'm looking at a like different window, so there's a little bit of delay, and there's delay. And when you hear it, and it's like delay for when I see it, then when I say it to when you see it on the screen, it's all... It's all good. I can't draw straight lines, even when I have a straight line to draw over. That's fun. Oh, and now the bot's doing its job. Bot, what are you doing? Bot would not do its title command that I turned on, but then it was like, oh no, it's fine. We're gonna do the other commands. I don't know. Bot, you be weird. I'm definitely gonna have to do a stream where I just like mess with bot commands. Hey, GoDappy. Oh, JFK. I've only ever been in the international terminal in JFK. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier in the stream, but you weren't here, I'm from New Jersey. I grew up there. So I've been in North Jersey. So I've been in and out of the various New York metro airports and like Allentown Airport many times. But JFK, I've never done JFK domestically. I've only ever done JFK internationally. But, so yeah, normally for domestically, I did LaGuardia once, but I tended to not want to do LaGuardia because then you have to like go across Manhattan to get there. So like any savings I would save in, or my parents, because my parents were driving me to and from the airport, any savings from like flight differences would be all sucked up by the Port Authority for tolls and such, because the Port Authority is an ass. They have a total monopoly just over like the bridges and tunnels, and it is so expensive to get in and out of New York. And then you have to drive across Manhattan. So I mainly fly in and out of Newark when I'm like visiting my parents and stuff. Sometimes Trenton. I'm not a fan of Trenton because Trenton is such a tiny airport. I think they like put all their trainee TSA agents there. So security actually takes for fucking ever in Trenton, even though there's literally only 2 gates, because they're super thorough and like teaching new people, and it's just terrible. I've flown in and out of Allentown a few times. I really liked that. That was nice. Because it's big enough that it's not like trainee airport. But it's not like huge. And then, like I said, I normally am in and out of Newark. That's the standard one. And the different terminals in Newark are like different worlds. And I've just noticed, like, I've been in all 3. Terminal A seems to give the least amount of fucks. It's very nice. Though at one point, several years ago, I had a spatula in my bag because my parents gave me a spatula because I had just moved into my first apartment. They're like, you need cooking utensils here. And that apparently looked real weird on the x-ray. And so they had to unload my whole bag because of a spatula that looked very much like a spatula on the x-ray in Terminal A. But that was it. And then Terminal B, that's the international terminal at Newark. So it's like you could tell the TSA people are exhausted there because they're dealing with all these international travelers that like don't know how the US TSA works. So they're patient, but also like a little bit at the end of their rope, depending on where they are in their shift. And then C is the like hub terminal. And that's just always a giant clusterfuck of a giant terminal. And the article continues on a different page. Clicking over. But yeah, that's my review of the Newark airport. Is that it depends on your terminal. And then if you have to connect flights at the Newark airport, that's not a fun time because you can't walk from terminal to terminal. You have to take a little train thing. And it's confusing as hell in there. And you can't like go... Like that means you have to go out and redo security. If you have to switch terminals. So if you ever have to connect in and out of Newark, account for security time. Again, during your connection, in case you have to switch terminals. One thing I will give Terminal B, the international terminal, has a much better pickup area. The pickup area at Terminal A and Terminal C, like pickup and drop off in and out of the airport, is a clusterfuck. But like it's actually really well organized at Terminal B. Not quite sure why, but it is. So how are you enjoying JFK? Go Dappy. Like I said, I've only ever been in the international terminal there. And I've done it like twice. I did do it recently. And we got there excessively early because my parents were paranoid about missing international flights because they don't fly nearly as often as I do. And did it overkill. No worries. That makes sense. If they're just checking in from JFK. I would imagine that flight needs to happen. Also, if they're not going to pay for airport Wi-Fi, which I also understand, video opens up a lot of data. So that was my rant about airports. Which is ironic because I hate when people complain about airports because it's just like such like a privilege thing, like very much a first world problem of people who fly a lot. But at the same time, I'm like, I do have opinions on, especially the New York metro area has so many airports. It's like you could pick and, it's like, oh, you can rate which one you prefer to fly out of. But yeah, like it bothers me that like anything airport and flight related gets like so much coverage in the news media and like in Congress because those people fly a lot. So it hits much closer to home to them versus like other issues like farming, agriculture, I don't know, mining, like other like not white collar things. But then I just descended into my own pet peeve. Oh, the irony. And because I've been ranting this whole time, in theory I've been like reading this article, but it's like, nope. I've really just been copying it, not actually taking in what I'm reading. Though what I'm gathering is that, oh no, is that this was actually a campaign promise of the new governor, blah. I don't like him. If you couldn't tell from other articles I copied like last year. And it's not as high as he said it would be, but okay. He actually kept a campaign promise that was about spending, and you're a Republican governor. That normally never happens. So good on you for actually doing a campaign promise that isn't a typical GOP selling point. Ah, yes. I'm guessing, Dave, you're Yankees because North Jersey? Yankees or Mets? Yeah, it's kind of similar to Heart of Gold. It's really pale here and then gets a lot darker here. It's not nearly as ugly. Oh, didn't know you were a Sox fan. Okay. Cool. I just assumed based on geography. That's fun. We used to live right by that stadium. During the first few years of my life, we lived in the burbs of Chicago. But yeah, so it's not as gut-wrenching ugly as I found Heart of Gold, but it's still meh to me. But yeah, go wishing the Sox luck. And that's actually really funny autocorrect. White side. Yeah, that would do it. That makes sense. That's so my whole family's from Michigan. And so with this whole March Madness thing, Michigan State is ranked fairly high. And so every single one of them, almost every single one of them put Michigan State is winning the whole thing. It's loyalties. And isn't it opening day? I saw that somewhere. Maybe on Brad's Twitter feed. I do like baseball. It's probably one of the sports I enjoy watching most, but watching sports has never been a thing for me. I enjoy a game when it's on, of baseball in particular, but I don't go out of my way to watch it. Who are you guys playing? It's day one. Of course. Oh no, wait. Spring training was the thing. I think the Mets have sucked for the last couple years. And like I said, grew up in Jersey, so therefore I'm more aware of this stuff. So maybe the Mets fans will get some relief. Ah, Kansas City. Okay. Like I said, I have no idea. I don't follow baseball, so should that be a good game? Should it be a blowout? I have no idea. Or do we have no clue? Because it's opening day. I mean, you can watch spring training. I don't know how much that informs you about how the year is going to go, or the season. Yeah, this ink is very underwhelming for me. Probably why I don't have... Oh, no. So it's going to be a close game, but because both teams are terrible. Oh, God. I'm not. That's gonna lead to some really long innings. When I played softball as a kid, um, I happened to land on some of the really bad teams, and so when we played the other really bad teams, the games took forever because like they either were really fast, they're either really short or really long because everyone kept striking out, or because balls kept being thrown, so it was just like walks forever in the innings, and it took forever for any outs to happen. Yeah, and I was not, if it tells you how bad the teams were, I am not a particularly adept sports person, but I was one of the better people on these teams and played first base. Because it was that sad. The one year I was on a decent team, I was in the outfield. And according to my parents, and actually I remember this, I was so bored because these were children playing, I was a child, balls were never hit to the outfield, so I was just like picking like grass and like flowers the whole time because I was bored out of my mind out in the outfield. Yeah, there's some feathering actually on this with the wet pen on Rhodia, but I'm willing to chalk that up to this being the bottom of the page and my hand oils. But yeah, I'm underwhelmed. Other people could take it. This ink. Maybe I'll do like a giveaway of like rare samples that I don't care for, that I've reviewed. That would probably be a good giveaway. Now we need the shitty paper. That's right. Flip, 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 flip. There we are. Okay, so staples. I'll be interested to see how this performs on shitty paper, because it does feel a tad dry, and that can sometimes mean it actually works better on shitty paper because there's not as much ink, so it doesn't have as much bleed through and feathering and stuff. Though, don't hold me to that. That's a very loose correlation. I would not say the R squared on that is any good. Plus, you can't get an R squared on that because that's that's a qualitative measure. So I've been thinking about stats a lot. One of my students had like a surprise stat unit. And then if you followed any like late night discussion on Slack last night, where it was like, I basically like plotted out a whole like study how you would like compare, how would you determine if carts or converters had a significant impact on flow in a pen. And that was also something that reinforced to me, I need a different job, because clearly I have all these experimental juices flowing that need an outlet somehow. Like, not enough for a big study, but enough for like lab tech or industry work. Where was I? In the article. Damn, I am like super distracted in writing the names of things. That's fine though. Yeah, because I've definitely got quite a few like harder to find inks that I have samples of just randomly that I'm like, it's okay. That'd be a good giveaway pack. It's like, here, have a giveaway pack of rare inks. Like, I have a sample of Eternal Blue. I was like, it's okay. I'm not crazy for it. Other people can have it. Let's see, where was I in the article? And I know I just asked that, but I didn't look. We're pleased. There we are. For some reason, I'm actually liking this better on the shitty paper. It's almost because it's not shading, because you never get shading on shitty paper. And I think the shading is what made it seem really pale and weak to me. Like, this is really weird. I don't think I've ever had an ink where I actually preferred what it looked like on the shitty paper to, like, the good paper. It's a strange sensation. Or made to... Oh, I need to scroll down. That's why I'm like, where am I? And there is some feathering on this, but it doesn't look like any more than normal, like your standard kind of terrible paper feathering where the letters all just sort of look fuzzy. Oh, geez. Teachers have only gotten a pay raise in the last decade in Georgia once in the last 10 years. Meanwhile, like, rents and, like, home prices and property taxes have all definitely gone noticeably up. Like, I've lived here, oh God, I'll have lived here for 6 years in the summer. That's weird to think about. But yeah, I've definitely noticed things going up. Yay, like, I wouldn't say gentrification, I would say, well, kind of gentrification. It's more the, like, bulldozing empty lots and putting luxury apartments there that no one can afford. Sorry, like, I don't have a problem with building new apartments and everything. It's just that all the new apartments are luxury apartments and not affordable, any sort of affordable, like, just, I don't want a luxury apartment, I just want a regular apartment. That's all I want. Like, if you build those, I will be very happy. But no, we always have to build the luxury apartment people hives. It's like, no, I don't want that. Just give me a regular apartment. And then maybe I could afford to move in. And once in the... My handwriting is just all over the place with this review because I am, like, talking and, like, spelling things terribly because I'm not really paying attention. Okay. Yeah, about 15 years of use, but that doesn't help me now when there's all these, like, brand new apartment buildings. Then they're like, why can't they have to, like, desperately advertise to get people to move in? It's like, well, like, yeah, it's strange. In Atlanta, there is definitely a housing shortage, but the luxury apartment market is super oversaturated and the, like, more affordable housing market is undersaturated. So it's like a weird dynamic. It's like, you should think about this before you start building things. So the feathering on the wet pen is actually real bad. That's more on the terrible side. But like I said, I actually like the color more on the shitty paper, which is weird. That's not good. It's like real bad with this. And that's actually more bleed through than I see, like more intense bleed through than I normally see. It doesn't come across as well in the camera, but like there's some intense bleed through spots. And like all the rest of it's like a little minorly bleed through. So yeah, it's a pale ink, but it like still, and it's a little on the dry side, but it still doesn't work great on shitty paper. Maybe I'll turn on, you know what I should do? Because I've stopped, I used to have music on for these, but I kept getting nailed by YouTube when I export them, and I was really tired of that. So I've just stopped doing music on these. And I don't want to do podcasts because I actually want to listen to those. And it's really hard for me to read and write and write things while listening to try and actively listen to a podcast at the same time. But like a baseball game in the background would be great. I should look up the Braves schedule and see what it is, because sports agreements, you can't actually stream, like they're not allowed to stream like sports. So general like internet like radio stations aren't allowed to put their sports feed on internet streaming, because then people could listen to it outside the market area or something. Like there's agreements with that. The only way to get that internet streaming for those games is to pay MLB. And then even then, you can only get the feed for games outside your market area. You need to have an actual physical radio to get the feed for the games, like the games that are local to you. Which, I mean, I have one. I have this little pocket radio thing, which I used when I was in the lab. Because I could fit this in my pocket, it's smaller than a phone. It has a little headphone jack if I wanted to listen to games of any sort while like doing lab work. And it works real well. So yeah, that was that. So I am going to go, well, I'm going to empty these pens, but then I'm going to go, after I empty them, I will throw up the BRB card while I clean them, because that's in the bathroom, and I can't really take the webcam with me to the bathroom because this is a desktop computer, so that wouldn't work too well. I actually have done that once, streaming from my laptop, where I did take the laptop with me to the bathroom. It was a weird experience, and I don't wish to repeat that. And then after this, we'll do Sheaffer Red. And then I might throw up a stream of me doing writing blog posts. Because not only do I have a bunch of these blog posts, I'll do the scans of this and then write those blog posts, but I also have a couple nail polish blog posts that I have most of it written. I have the photos uploaded and in there, but I need to actually do the writing. And I was waiting for sunlight and where I'm home so I can look at the actual bottles, so I could actually remember all the different shimmery properties of the nail polish and write about those. I say write, but it's a crude description. But anyway, these are emptied. I'm going to go clean pens, and I'll be back in 10-15 minutes. Okie dokie. Okay. Hello, I'm back, and you can probably hear stuff in the background. That's because I took Dave's baseball thing and was like, yeah, I should see if there's a Braves game on. And there is. And it took a little while for me to find the right radio station, because I can never remember what it is. But I got my little radio boy tuned to the station, and then we'll continue with pen reviews with baseball in the background. I don't know if this will get nailed by YouTube either, because the sports people are very on top of their broadcasts and their rights. So we're now going to do Sheaffer Red, which, like I said, is my benchmark for a true red. Like, it's, like, if you want a red, Sheaffer Red. What am I doing? Mm-hmm. Cool.
Kept plugging away, got a couple across. Segura takes ball one. A packed house here at Citizens Bank Park. Capacity just under 43,000 folks.
Oh, wait, they're playing the Phillies. I wonder if Gritty will show up, even though Gritty is not the sponsor. Should. There we are. Now I have it on screen what I'm actually listening to. I wonder, this is a dupe I have, this, and there's not a whole lot in here, but I've gotten, like, I got a random sample from Goulet's, and it had it, and I already had it, so I have two of these, so I'm actually kind of going to combine these in one vial. So that way it's going to be a little bit easier to fill. And now I can actually erase my original one. And all I have in this one.
34 homers last year for the Nationals, 100 RBIs, stole 13 bases.
I thought they were playing the Phillies, not the Nationals.
Here's the pitch to him. It's been a little bit high, ball one.
See how this is just, it's such a good red. Such a good red. Yeah, I'm very curious if this will be nailed by YouTube, because I know in the past, like, music they get nailed by YouTube, but do the sports cast things, I don't know what the official term for it is. Sportscast? Radio broadcast? I don't know. Do the professional sports broadcasters and organizations have as tight control in and have ins with the YouTube algorithms as the music record labels do? Because, like, I've gotten nailed by stuff on YouTube that you, like, can't even hear in the video, but it's enough that it's like, oh, okay, I guess there's something in there.
3-1 Phillies, bottom of fifth.
Sheaffer Red. Huh, I'm just looking at So this sample is probably from like 2015 thereabouts, and this one is maybe 2017. Like I said, this one I ordered on purpose from Goulet, and this was a random sample pack, but I'm just looking at the difference between Goulet samples over time. It just has Goulet pens in red. This one has the inventory number on it and a little ink logo. Same vials, but like very like, it's like, oh look, how they've changed over time. Oh, you get the commercials too. Oh boy. Okay. Something got knocked over.
Because once you try them, you'll have a lot of love for Dunkin's new handcrafted signature lattes. Blueberry crisp, caramel craze, or coca mocha. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer.
At Gas South, we believe in supporting the community, which is why, as the official natural gas provider of your Atlanta Braves, we're donating $25 to
Official natural gas provider of the Braves. That's that. Okay. I didn't know baseball teams needed official natural gas providers.
You'll also get $50 in bill credits, and will automatically be registered to win a Braves VIP experience.
I will say it's pretty awesome that CW Pencils is like the official pencil sponsor of the Yankees. That's so awesome.
With the Yingling traditional lager, a bold amber color, near 200 years in the making, all American brew. So plug in, rock out, and let the night take.
But yeah, no, I've continued to use that baseball scoring pencil. Still love how it writes. But yeah, the paint job is real bad. It looks really shitty. Now, I'm like halfway through it, and it's in like my bag in the other room. But yeah, it's not great. Oh yeah, this is a already much better writer in terms of flow than the Papier Plume. Like, I'm not minding this at all. This is nice in the Parker. Where was I even in the article? I don't even know. Lots of things happened. States. Largest teacher group. There we are.
Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. Good part of the lineup for you too, Bobby Camp. Josh Donaldson steps in, swings and misses. 0-1 the count. Donaldson in his Braves debut has hit a little tapper in front of the plate. He has struck out looking. Aaron Nola has limited the Braves to 2 hits. He fires. Breaking ball down low to even the count.
So apparently this pay raise is going to be one of the largest in the state history. But is that like by percentage or by dollar amount? Because dollar amount, of course it's the largest, because inflation is a thing. But percentage, that makes more sense. That's like a better standard to measure these by over time. Okay, so apparently the 90s governor in Georgia really wanted to emphasize teacher pay and wanted to make Georgia the highest teacher pay state in the Southeast in the 90s. But then since the recession, there's been like nothing. Like, teachers were the casualty of having to balance budgets.
Reds are on the board. They lead the Pirates 1-0. The Great American Ballpark, bottom of the 3rd inning. 2-0 in the bottom of the second.
Yep, this is a great red. I had wondered if I was like wrong about this red because when I put it in that Lady Sheaffer, it came out really weak. But I think it's just because that Lady Sheaffer is a dry rider with a really fine nib, which was the problem.
That'll bring the tying run to the plate.
I need to try that with like a really gushing wet ink because I haven't enjoyed using it when I've inked it up.
Scored the Braves' only run. And he's also popped to left. Stands square at the plate, hands held right up front of his shoulder, swings and fouls one back. Jim, I was watching him take batting practice today, Acuna. His last swing again. Do you see that sign out there in the walkway called Alley Store in left center? Yes. He hit a ball that bounced up under that sign across their center field plaza. That's well struck. No kidding. He can put on a show. I'd see him hit one there right now. The 0-1. High. Evens count.
Yeah, he just missed one in the fourth inning. He's caught it off the end of the bat a little bit. Shane Carl continues to stay warm in the bullpen. I would think Tehran, who is at 88 pitches through 5 innings, is probably done.
Got some action in the Phillies bullpen for the first time right now, too. Acuna takes a strike.
Nola's up to 93 pitches. 54 strikes, 39 balls.
Well, he was hoping to go a little farther than he went last year in the first game when he got yanked early. Yeah.
Scandal that was.
Yeah. Ball and 2 strikes to Acuna. Freddie's running, and the pitch is high. Ball 2. Throw down by Real Muto. Is dug out by Hernandez. Freddie's not too sure. He's looking at the Braves dugout. Hernandez had to take a short hop from Real Muto.
I don't even know what the score is on this game. Are we winning or losing? When I say we, I mean the Braves, because that's where I'm located, so that's become my home team. Because that's how it works.
Freddie tried to catch him napping on a 1-2 count. And he did get Real Muto to make a bad throw, but Hernandez bailed him out.
There was apparently drama because, it's not drama, but like issues because of, there's teacher pay, but then there's school psychologists, counselors, basically all the other people that make school run.
Into the upper deck, right side. Pedro Guerrero is loosening up in the Phillies bullpen. No, not that Pedro Guerrero. Another 2-2 to Acuna. Inside, ball 3. Acuna today, Nola today, when he's gotten a 3-2 count, he hasn't given in too much. He's thrown a lot of breaking pitches in this count. Here's a 3-2 to Ronald. Pulled foul. That was a changeup.
The Braves must have seen clear and convincing evidence on the replay of the Freeman slide, because starting in the 8th inning, you can request a crew chief review. So if you haven't used your challenge before the 8th inning, you don't even need it anymore.
Right.
Or the 6th inning here.
2 out, nobody on. 3-1 Phillies, the pitch to Ronald.
Okay, we're losing by 2.
Ball 4, runner at first with 2 out. Let's pause for
Which I don't
station
mind,
on the Atlanta
because
Braves Radio Network.
I've got a couple friends that are much more avid Phillies fans than I am Braves fan.
Is Atlanta's rock station and your home of the Atlanta Braves. Rock 100.5.
I'm going to venture a guess, Jim Powell, that Aaron Nola didn't walk 5 in a game all last year.
I think you're probably correct.
Again, the Braves get the tying run to the plate in the form of Nick Markakis. Acuna at first. He's already stolen 1 base today. Out of the stretch, throw to first. Ronald's back. This is where if you're Freddie Freeman and you're in the Braves dugout, you kick yourself because you got thrown out, and then that was followed by a walk.
Again, if the Braves thought there was a 0% chance chance that they could get it overturned, you don't challenge. But if you thought there was much of a chance, 1 in 5 chance,
Okay.
we've asked to take a look.
Pitch to Markakis, swung on, lifted in the air, out behind third. Foul
Yep,
territory.
I really like this ink.
He'll make the catch and in the end.
I mean, I knew I liked this ink before I started this review.
Pitch around a couple of walks, no winner in the
We're starting to slowly, this is probably the exception, but we'll hit a point eventually when it'll be inks I've used before, but I still had samples left over, and I want to get those all on, like, document reviews, because, hey, part of this is putting as much more information out there as possible.
This is Monopoly money.
But yeah, this is great in all pens,
We talked to our friends.
and looks great in all pens.
in the mood. Now where did I park my mini?
I knocked something over.
Real money. Win up to $1 million with the Monopoly Scratchers from the Georgia Lottery. Play responsibly. Monopoly is a trademark of Hasbro and is used with permission.
Baseball is a game of strategy. Strategy's also needed to protect your home from termites. Cook's Pest Control and the Centricon system. Unbeatable combination for termite protection. Right now, homeowners and business owners can call Cook's and get a free pest and termite evaluation. It's a free evaluation with no obligation. Discover how affordable it is to protect your home with the Centricon system. Make the right call. Cook's Pest Control.
Looky, looky, looky. Here comes Cookie. Cook's Pest Control.
I've heard that jingle so many times because they're just a major Brave sponsor, and I'm just like, I don't want to hear it anymore.
Mailbox post or deck footing or even pour a backyard patio. Quickcrete fast sitting concrete in the red bag makes it simple. To set a post, there's no mixing. Just pour the dry mix into the hole and add water. It sets hard in about 20 minutes and you're done. It's that fast and easy. Quickcrete fast sitting concrete. Look for it in the red bag.
Visit OmniHotels.com/Atlanta to book your park and play package and enjoy complimentary valet parking and luxury combinations in the heart of downtown.
Back to the diamond for more Atlanta Braves baseball on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network. Led by Louisiana Hot Sauce.
Well, it is the end of the line for Julio Teheran today. Shane Carl has come on to work. 27-year-old right-hander had a really good spring. His first season with the Braves organization last year made 53 appearances out of the bullpen, 4-1 record.
That's
ERA. He did have some shoulder
so wait.
making an opening day roster for the second time in his career.
Okay, so the raises start July 1st at the start of the fiscal year. Originally, they were going to bump them back to September 1st, which would have meant the teachers worked for at least a month with the lower raises. That would have been weird, but they ended up compromising.
Jim, he was sharp. He had a good fastball. And he'll face Reese Hoskins to start the 6th inning. Hoskins flied out and struck out against Julio, and he takes strike 1.
And you were right. Aaron Nolan did not walk as many as 5 in a game. All of last year, he walked 4 times, but never 5.
Well, in situations like today, you got to take advantage of those. And one of those walks did score today in the 2nd inning for Atlanta. They trail 3-1. Hoskins takes high. Count 1-1.
It maybe feels like the slightest, ever so slightly bit dry in
Sellout today.
the dry rider.
44,469. That means there's a lot of standing room over here.
The Phillies do love their baseball, like Philadelphians.
Foul back into the crowd, a souvenir for one of that group. You know, you look at Julio's line today, it's not going to be that pretty. But we're here to tell you he pitched a whole lot better than this line will show. 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned. 2 walks, one of those was intentional. He struck out 7. 2 wild pitches and a home run allowed. Hoskins takes down low. Count even 2-2. Would you agree with that assessment?
I think he looked like the Julio Teheran of several years ago.
Me too. And he was aggressive. Struck out Bryce Harper twice. Morrow fires another emergency swing by Hoskins. Stays alive with a foul ball off to the right side.
Well, Julio faced 21 batters and walked only 1 unintentionally.
Oh, yay.
What he did this spring with the big strike. strikeout to walk ratio.
They voted to actually upgrade the voting system and budgeted for it.
Trying to get JT Realmuto out and worked very carefully, had a base open, and ultimately he did walk him.
The fact that there were so many malfunctions and shit in the last election, maybe put fire under their ass. Oh yay, and they're doing it for voting system as a paper trail. Fucking finally.
Leadoff homer by Andrew McCutcheon that just set this crowd on fire. Braves pushed a run across in the second inning.
Look, the legislature are doing something right. It took them a little bit.
And then the Phillies got
They didn't want to do it before the midterms.
the stretch, pitches high,
But maybe they saw that. I don't know. Oh, you know what it is? A lot of House seats, state Senate and House seats flipped in those midterms.
cash consideration.
Like, there was a definite blue wave in the state house and everything. Not enough to, like, shift control, but enough so that the margins are significantly lower for things to pass with an all-Republican ticket. So maybe it's like, oh yeah, maybe we should finally do this now. Do things that we actually need bipartisan support for. Imagine that.
I guess coming out of spring training, Jim, if there's a big question mark for Atlanta, it is the bullpen.
Well, especially with O'Day not
Like, I'm just glad to see on some government level, like an actual functioning government. Things are getting passed that need to get passed. There's actual bipartisan bills that have gone out. Things that have wide consensus are actually being passed. Like, it's getting to be the point with the federal government where I'm like, just do your basics. The things that have wide bipartisan support, pass them. Pass the fucking budget. Like, do your basics. Please.
On the first pitch he saw in the fourth inning, and he's grounded out 1 for 2. Hector Neris now throwing in the Phillies bullpen. We might see him in the seventh, one of their setup men. And it's been said they don't have a closer by designation. They've got a lot of guys they think they might use, but nobody has been designated as the closer for this team. Herrera swings and misses.
You would assume that Robertson would get the lion's share of the ninth inning work.
Yeah, he's good. That was another good pickup by the Phillies. Runner at first. The pitch to Herrera, swinging another miss. 0-2. Got Anthony Dominguez, who helped them some in the bullpen last year. Montecasio, Ishak.
Oh god, this is the first budget in like 10 years that has been school budget for 10 years that has been fully funded. Jesus. Holy shit. No wonder Georgia schools are in shambles. Like the public school system at least. Like there's desperate teacher shortages, the websites and everything don't fucking work.
First 0-2 the count. To move to
Like,
Herrera.
this explains a lot.
Down low, dug out by McCann. A ball and 2
And yep, still really like this red. It looked a little more weak sauce on the cream paper, which is typical for red inks. Oh right, I gotta like
3-1 Phillies.
switch this.
Sixth inning.
I'm gonna use this as a guide because I'm like, how did I do it again?
In the league in team batting average. 10th in runs scored, but 6th in homers. And all or nothing. Pitch swung on and missed. Ball in the dirt. Blocked nicely by McCann. Herrera is out automatically with a runner at first. And that's the first strikeout for Carl. Cesar Hernandez, the batter, second baseman, also came through with a big clutch hit with 2
This whole baseball thing is really working for me as like background noise that's not too obtrusive, that hopefully won't get nailed by YouTube. We'll have to see that. Still, because I haven't tried this before.
He had a good year for these guys. You know, when you've got a guy like Hernandez who you don't count on for a lot of offense, but he still delivers 15 homers and 60 RBIs and steals 19 bases. That's quite a contribution. But now batting near the bottom of the order instead of leading off. Throw to first. Is back. He stole 5 bases last year. Big horse, 6'4", 240. Shane Carl in relief of Julio Teheran. Delivers high. 94 on that fastball. 2-0 the count.
Okay. Then it was like that. Okay, cool.
Stretch the pitch, foul back, big cut by Hernandez.
Actually, I have Dutch Masters right here, which I think next to it.
We've been talking about Matt Joyce having a whirlwind.
Dutch Masters and the Sheaffer are actually fairly similar.
Kind of what happened to Shane Carl. He was in the Pirates organization and then acquired by the
The Dutch Masters is a little more subdued, I will say, or like the Sheaffer's a little bit richer than the Dutch Masters.
before coming to Atlanta. Stretching the pitch high. 3-1 the count.
I think I have them like right next to each other too. Just looking at the... Yep, I do have them right next to each other. That's why they look so damn similar when written.
All in relief. Not much success.
It's interesting. So in the swabs, the Dutch Masters looks very slightly more orangey than the Sheaffer Red, but it doesn't read that way in the actual written reviews. This is why the writing samples are important, folks.
For Michael Franco.
Swabs are great, but there's only so much they can tell you about how things will actually write.
He walks 2 of the first 4 batters he sees in the regular season.
Now let's see how it does in shitty paper, because that's very important if you want to use this as like a grading ink. You want, like, students aren't going to know to turn something in on fountain pen friendly paper.
That walk was in the 4th inning. Right-handed hitter, powerful hitter. Pitch. Taken low, took a little off, change up. Missed ball 1. Braves are very much in this game, just trailing 3-1. Bottom of the 6th inning, can't afford to give them any more, and certainly can't afford to put men on base with the top of the order looming. Stretch the pitch in the dirt, gets away from McCann, but he recovers, and the runners have to hold. Nice job by Brian to bounce out from behind the plate and catch that ball before it ever hit the dirt. Now it's going to bring Rick Kranitz to the mound, the pitching coach for the Braves. Nice to see McCann moving so well. That repaired knee, new life. Well, they did a great job there keeping another runner from getting into scoring position. Hey Joe, Sundays are officially family days at SunTrust Park. New this season, each Sunday home game will feature a kids-only gate giveaway item for the first 5,000 kids through the gate, starting with a Freddie Freeman jersey and Fill the Bucket bobblehead. And all games in.
This is actually not feathering nearly as badly as other inks have on the shitty paper. Maybe this also behaves well on shitty paper. It's great red, and if it also behaves well on shitty paper like this, this is a great ink.
Back to the dugout. 2-0 the count to Frank.
No one ever talks about Sheaffer inks, but this red is really awesome. Actually, that's usually, if someone mentions Sheaffer, they're like, well, wow, rating. They have a really great red, and that's about it, which is my impression as well.
That's Wes Parsons up for the
Their other inks have not caught my eye like this red has.
2 on, 2 out, 2-1 the count. Pitch to Franco. Lifted foul and out of play again. 2-2 the count. 0-2 pitch. Down low, another good stop by McCann. Full count. Runners will be moving from first and second with 2 out.
Okay, so this is one big ticket item on the budget. The other is public health care,
Hernandez at first.
which I'm fine with.
And the payoff pitch on the way for Michael Franco. Here it is. Fouled back into the screen. Might have been ball 4.
Yeah, this actually has like minimal feathering on the shitty paper. That is surprising and awesome.
A more than capacity crowd here on opening day in Philly. 3-1 Philadelphia in the 6th. Runners go. The pitch swung on and belted. See ya. 3-run homer for Franco.
I cannot tell from the up.
1 Philadelphia.
Okay, yeah, that was Philadelphia. Just did a 3-run homer. We lost. That's all people celebrating. Because it's at Philly.
And Brian Snitker's on his way to the mound. And that will be a short day for Shane Carl. The home run followed a couple of walks. And boy, does that do some damage late. in the
Oh,
ball game.
geez. Bad pitcher day.
Free spot on the board. Wes Parsons will get the call. And we'll be back right after this on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
Okay, yeah, I mean, there's feathering on the wet one, which is normal, but it's not nearly as bad as regular. This is a good sign.
Termite protection. Right now, homeowners and
This also, the performance of the Ivy 108 on the shitty paper makes me think maybe that feathering on the rodeo was legit, not just hand oils. Yeah, that bleed through is not terrible. This is actually performing excellent. How does that compare to the other one? Yep, this was the Dutch Masters. Much better shitty paper performance than the Dutch Masters. That's the Sheaffer makes a damn good red.
You can switch your wireless carrier and save. Now that's simple, easy, awesome. Get a great offer when you switch to Xfinity Internet today and enjoy reliable Wi-Fi for all the devices in your home. Plus, that's how you can get Xfinity Mobile included, so all you pay for is data. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit Xfinity Store today. Restrictions apply.
Yep, nope. This is gonna continue to be my favorite red, and I really need a bottle of it. Like, I really do. Why don't I have a bottle of it?
Communities in your area at Cortland.com. This is the home of the Braves. Now back to more Braves baseball on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network, led by Louisiana Hot Sauce.
Well, the biggest surprise in the Braves spring training camp in Florida this year is this man right here, 26-year-old right-hander Wes Parsons.
Okay, so we're about done. I'm basically just emptying the pens. Then I'm gonna go clean them.
Opening day
And the ink reviews will be done. I might come back and do,
did not allow a single earned run this spring. He earned his way over.
and just throw up the stream for while I'm writing these reviews, like I said. I might actually wait
Allowed just 8.
on doing the scans till I have a set of 6.
Really, the Braves had no choice. He didn't just knock on the door to the
Because that would work well with the new arrangement with the Rhodia.
did a great job.
Because it's a new Rhodia
First batter he
pad.
faces a pinch
It's a dot pad versus the little itty bitty one I had before.
Parks leading now 6-1. Parsons fires low and outside ball 1.
That would cut it a little close for me writing,
Last year started 102 games for the Phillies.
like actually putting those posts together. But it would work, because like Monday, our ink reviews are going to be back to Monday next Monday.
Side out of play. One
Because that's spring break for most of my students, and so I have late on tutoring next week, so it's going to be normal. But then, I don't know the following week. The following week it's going to be on a Thursday, and it might continue to be on Thursdays, because that's just, I've got a pretty full slate.
swung on, ripped down the right field.
So yeah.
Pulled foul. Did a really good job as a pinch hitter.
Yeah, so yes, thank you for joining me. Hopefully YouTube doesn't nail the Baseball. We'll see. I'll report back on that. Thank you for helping me mess with bot functions, and I will see you later. We'll probably have another stream at some point of me purely just messing with bot functions. That'll be a fun one. Okay. It'll be like Hangout, but also Sarah messes with the bot. So yeah, see you later. Bye!